It was getting angry, was already walking out, was already kilo day on top clothes. What happened? Why we vexing? The Lord will change him. What? The Lord does not change things like that. God will not change anything. I'm telling you now I'm speaking the mind of God. Yes, I'm telling you. Hi darlings, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Beauty Nain. You know what's up. You guys have been asking for this video, and I promised I was going to release it like 2 days after I released that one, but it's been a long week, and I'm so sorry this is just coming now. I'm so sorry. I'm still your picking. I am your child. I'm really sorry, and I hope you have your popcorn and your bottle of juice ready, cause it's about to be story time. You know. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about how the relationship started, what went on in the relationship, mistakes I made, regrets I have, and how I am presently, because we have to do like a comparison, me then and me now. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So when I gained admission to university, the first mindset I had, the first mentality I had was, oh, I need to build my CGPA, and I can only do that with the help of a boyfriend, basically. And I wanted a guy that would have high CGPA, and that collapsed and backfired immediately. While we were actually still dating, there was this classmate of mine. He just resumed school. We had resumed like August. He resumed September or so. He gave that grand entrance, and in all honesty, it was fine. It was cute. Let's name him Zach for obvious reasons. So when Zach entered school, it was like a school sensation. It was everywhere. His beauty radiated because it was handsome. I'll never lie. It was good looking, pink lips, nice yash. I like when a man has yash, you know, nice yash, nice body. He was not too tall, not too short, not too fat, not too skinny. Exactly my type. It was not black again. I don't do fair, guys. So when he first entered school, with all of these qualities he had, I didn't notice him. Probably because I was in a relationship and I'm not the type to cheat. To now bust brain, he was not a dancer. And it was at that period when I was in school that me too, I was forming. I can dance, I can wind waist, I can do the letters guara guara. There's no dance I cannot do. So it was like we had a lot in common, basically. While I was still in a relationship with the CGPA boy, he was noticing that the guy wasn't treating me well, and we had this particular friend who is still my friend, is a guy who was like in my squad of friendship. So he knew how the guy was treating me. Unfortunately, or should I say unfortunately, he was a friend of Zach too. So when he got to boys hostel, he would just Zach what happened and how we all went and everything. So he now felt that that the relationship was too sad for a fine girl like me, and I had friends then now. So they were asking me to, like, you know, go into the relationship, and like I should try it out, that this one that I'm even dating self is not helping me out, so why am I like stressing myself and all. And because I wasn't that kind of person, I did not have the capacity and energy to come and shout, so I discarded it. But then my present boyfriend then was still acting like somebody that something is wrong with. So I just felt, well, since you two are doing yama yama, your head is not straight, let me just give this other person a chance. So Zach was my classmate. He was sitting like behind me in class. He always sat behind me in class, and I didn't know he was stealing glances. Me too, I was using style to steal glances ever since my friend told me that he used to check me out in class. So our eyes would meet, you know, those romance things that used to happen in American film, where the boy would be looking at the girl to be the... Yeah, that was what happened. So he finally had the chance to talk to me, and we went on a date, and he now told me a lot of things, how I should leave the relationship, how it was not like benefiting me and all. And with the way he was talking like he was so calm. At some point, he started to cry to my friends that Beauty is not giving me face, Beauty is not doing this, Beauty is not doing that. The angel, she knows is better than the devil, she just know. He just started yama somehow. And as a young girl then, I was like, okay, since he likes me so much, and this one self, I've never seen him cry for me before, maybe I should just enter the relationship and date him. Honestly, the first 3 months of our relationship was fun. But one thing I now noticed about him in that first 3 months was that he was a bit insecure. As a fine girl in the school with tiny waist and nice body shape, guys were on my matter, guys were on my pee. But normal now, you just wave it aside, smile at them and let it go. So when most of them approach me to like talk to me to say hi, he used to get jealous. You could come with the excuse that I'm talking to him. I went to go meet another boy to be talking to the another boy. What's my problem? What's my issue in life? Can you come? My name would see it as insecurities because I was like, what's in this one? This one loves me so much. Oh, I was so excited that somebody is so much in love with me. Then before I knew it, started reporting me to our classmates, his friends, that they should talk to Beauty. She's always doing this and doesn't like that thing. He doesn't. For that first 3 months, it felt like I was the one treating him wrong because I was always talking to other guys while he was there. So when we went for our first break, which was like December/January break, we didn't talk because at that point I'm like, you want to take my freedom away from me. I'm not quite understanding it. But then something happened in school and my classmates were mad at me. They didn't like me, and because of that they were going to come to the health center to beat me. It was Zach that told me that they came to the health center to beat me. I don't know if that's true, if anybody came to the health center to beat me, because I never even confirmed after that time. But I know I was sick while I was in school. In the first 3 months of our relationship, I was seriously sick and I had to be admitted at the health center. So while I was there, I didn't have any friends to help me be going to the hostel, get change of clothes, get food and everything. But Zach was there for me. In fact, at some point started to sleep in the health center. So because of that, I felt indebted to him. I felt pity that it wouldn't make sense for me to now just not date him, because actually I wanted to just stop dating him because I felt like it was asking for too much. But with what he did, and when I now realized that as I'm going back to school this January, I don't have friends to talk to. I don't have anybody to be working with. I mean, I don't like to work alone. I don't have people to work with. I don't have anybody to share my problems with. So it's not I'm going to just be looking around without, having a companion. So because of that, I decided to swallow my pride and, give into the relationship. So before we got to school, I sent him a very long, at that time I was good at writing epistle. I sent him a very long epistle, almost a textbook, telling him how sorry I was and how I wanted to give the relationship another trial. He was not talking to me, he was forming vex. I'm not. So we resumed school. He resumed. I was staying in Ibadan, I was staying in Warri, so there was no way for us to see during the holidays. So I resumed school. I went into the classroom that day. I saw him, and that day I did something a girl should never do. Now, if you're watching this video, never in your life, ever in your life, go on your knees to beg a guy for anything. Don't you ever, because it just makes you throw away your ego, your pride as a woman, and make the guy feel like, yes, Omuti arrived, I have arrived. Don't ever do that. Unless maybe the person is your husband and you cheated and you were caught, or you did something grievous and you were caught, then you now decide to kneel down and beg. But if that did not happen and the man is not your daddy or your uncle or your brother, please don't you ever go and beg anybody and kneel down on your knees. Don't try it, because that was what I did, and I feel like that was what spoiled the whole thing. I feel like that was what gave him that power, that dominance over me, because I went on my knees, I begged him profusely. I was holding on to the tail of his trouser, telling him I am sorry. It was like I was begging for the relationship to continue. It was like I was begging him to date me, somebody that was on my matter before, and I turned the table around because I didn't want to be lonely, and I didn't want to have to carry my baggage alone. See, being a woman, loneliness will come. And you cannot now say because you're lonely, you don't want to use a relationship to fill that void. It would backfire at the end of the day, because you will not always get that closure you want in a relationship unless you're satisfied with where you're coming from and with who you are. I say that because when I enter a relationship now, then I'll now be a better version of myself. You can't be a better version of yourself in a relationship. You can't. You have to be a better version of yourself before you enter. Relationships are not meant to change people. It's meant to complement, not to turn your life around and to change you. I feel like I'm preaching too much. I went on my knees, I begged him, I begged for the relationship to continue, and that was when the palaver started. From that day onward, it was not exciting anymore. It wasn't sweet, it wasn't rosy. It was from one issue to another. When I was entering school, I was a fan of crop tops. I love to wear crop tops and short things because I have body to carry crop top. So he was not okay with it. I remember there was a time, normally in school, our skirt must be below our knee, but sometimes now as girls, once we pass Potter's lunch, we can drag the skirt up, or there are some material, there are some skirt materials like crepe, for example. When you are walking, it begins to come up because of the stretchy feel it has, the stretchy material. So I remember that day I left the hostel. Potters had cleared me with my dressing. They felt it was okay, but my boyfriend was not happy with what I wore. I got to class. We were meant to have a class. I even got late to class because I was doing my makeup. I had to look good now. And I got to class. He waited for us to finish that class, and there was meant to be another class after that one, but there was like a 30-minute or 1 hour break in between. He assessed my dressing and he didn't like it. He said the skirt was not below my knee. The skirt was exposing a part of my lap, so that I was having skinny laps then. Unlike now that I'm now a thick girl. He said that the part of my laps was exposed and I was wearing a crop top and he could see my skin. He could see my tummy. Dear viewers, I went back to the hostel to go and change my clothes for that boy. God. Thinking about it, I don't know what entered my head. I was looking good. I was looking all nice. And I had to go to the hostel to remove my crop top and my nice skirt. I changed the entire outfit. At first, I thought he was joking when he told me to go back to the hostel and change the clothes. And before he knew it, he started to like make a fuss about it. He was getting angry. He was already walking out. He was already Kilo day on top clothes. What happened? What we vexing? I went back to the hostel. Watched something else. I had to wait for his approval before I could go for another class. It got to a point that lecturers were even like, they called me to their office that Kilo Shelley, if you're in love with somebody, does that mean that people should be walking up and down? We were like Taya and Kendi. We were like twins. Nothing could come between us. If you see me, you will see Zach. If you see Zach, you will see me. We were like trailing each other everywhere. So in class, we sat together. When we want to go and eat, we used to eat from the same plate in the cafeteria. When he doesn't get what he wants, he manipulates it with emotions and with fights. He could go 2 days without talking to me. Then it now got to a point where results now came out. And I realized that I was on a 4.08. And unluckily for him, he was on a 3rd class. I think on a 1 point or on a 2 point, a very low 2 points. And that was when the conspiracy theory rose from this boy's mouth. That was when he said, and Shebi, I remember that his dad is a pastor of Redeem, and the chaplain knows him, the DSSD knows him, the lecturers knows him. So because of that reason, they've told him several times to break up with me, but then he did not listen. So because of that, they are now changing his result. That it's not possible that he will come out with a 1 point or a 2 point, that because he knows how brilliant he is and he knows what he wrote in the exam, that he doesn't understand. So to cut the long story short, it was basically blaming our relationship for why his result was that bad. Basically, it's because he never broke up with me. So I should be thankful that he did not break up with me, and he's using his results to do suffer head. Me too, and I carried it on my head. Oh my God, so it's because of me. Oh my God, you love me this much. Oh my God, Zach is in love with me. That's why his result is bad. Then there was one time he told me again that I had to stop doing my makeup, that because his dad is a pastor, and I remember that he's going to still wife me one day, that I'm his wife, that when we are done with school he will marry me. So I have to start learning how to comport myself, how to not do too much makeup, that because his sisters, they have virgin hair, they don't do makeup. So that's how I stopped doing makeup. He told me that my father took me to the market, bought me over 70,000 naira worth of makeup stuff, including makeup boxes, because I told him I wanted to start a makeup business in school. I wanted to be a moa. That's when I got to school and a boy changed my career line. So I now had to start wearing the makeup occasionally. I only used to wear makeup when we have like a big event, but it was still allowing me to do makeup for people shower. Honestly, I just stayed in that relationship mainly because I didn't want to be alone. Loneliness was not a good attire on me. I wanted to have friends, but the people in my school were not ready to be friends with me because of they heard this, they heard that. There were times we would fight in public, he would just walk out on me, and if they bomb me, well, let me not follow him. As he's walking out, I have to be following him and be begging him and be shouting his name, because if he gets to the hostel and I do not call him back or beg him, the fight is going to lead to a very bigger one. He will begin to cough out blood, and that's the end of it. Then the whole coughing out blood thing self, it just started one day. I don't even know how it started. One thing about him is that if he's sick or if he's injured, he will send me proof. So that day we had a very huge fight. Next thing, he went to his hostel. I begged him on the road. A lot of people saw me begging, kneeling down, doing everything. Begged him. He ran to the hostel. I went to my own hostel. Then I just saw a photo on my phone, on my WhatsApp, and looking at WhatsApp, I saw blood. Apparently, he said he had been coughing out blood because of what happened between us, because of a fight we had. When did you start to cough out blood? I even thought he was faking it until his friend said he was really coughing out blood, and I saw pictures of blood. A lot of people were not happy with the relationship. A lot of people approached me to break up. It was exhausting. But then I endured. I waited for a whole year. Now, I'm not going to put all of the blame on him because I had my faults. I had my faults in the sense that I was always making it a public thing. When he walks out on me in public, I was not meant to chase after him to beg him. I just let him go and cool off. We'll talk later on phone. But because I knew the kind of person I was dating, and aside from that, I was dumb. I could have done well being alone. I could have become an introvert proper and still loved myself. But because I had someone to talk to, it was not every day we were fighting. It was not every day things were bad. There were times when things were good, when we were in love with each other so much. So those days were what kept me going. Luckily for me, I got a new set of friends. Those 3 people were part of the people that freed me from the relationship. So we continued the relationship until one fateful day when he fell sick. He got admitted. My classmate, I went for baptism at Redemption Camp. I was not around. He was in the hospital then. I do not know who lied against me. The child told him a lot of lies, things I never did, things I never said. He said he wanted to break up. I was even thinking he was joking. He broke up with me and the relationship ended. When the relationship ended, I was not myself. I was a shadow of myself. I was always crying. I was turning white. I became Snow White because it was now during a Harmattan period. It was like after my birthday. It was November. We broke up November 4. Why do I still remember? I was falling ill. I lost so much weight. My friends were just laughing at me. That was your problem. Because of mine, you are like this. Because of this same relationship, the roommate I had then when I was in 200 level did not like me. Because every single time me and Zach were always arguing on the phone. We were always shouting at each other. And she was a first class student. I was disturbing her reading. I was disturbing her peace. It got to a point she has to be packing her things to be going to her friend's room to read. And I felt bad, but I could not just control the whole situation around me at that point, because me too, I was in love. I cannot afford to be lonely, because even my own roommates then did not like me. So let's say my roommates liked me and I could walk with her, although we're like in different departments, but I could walk with her, or I could come home and come to the room and gist with her. It would have been fine. But my roommate who did not like me, and I don't even know what happened. I know she did not like me too. Probably because she had heard a lot of rumors about me and all. So it was like I was all on my own. All of the period he broke up, my roommate did not come to the room, because I'm pretty sure she was like, what's doing this girl? Why are you so dramatic? Like, what's up? But then I was the one that knew how he was doing me at that point, because I was like, okay, now that he has broken up, I have to be walking to the class alone. I have to be doing my things myself. I have to be. But God now blessed me with 3 friends that were now ready to like be my strength during my weakness. So when he left, God replaced him with somebody else, with people actually. So I was no longer walking to class alone. I had people to walk to class with. I had people to talk to, I had people to gist with, and they told me every bad thing they felt about me. We cleared the air and we were good, and up to now we're still friends. So I did not give so much details about what happened in the relationship because it's a whole lot, and this video will not end. In fact, it will be so long that I will not be able to cut it short. But what I just learned in that relationship is that when God wants to shape in you and mold you, He does it in mysterious ways. Before I entered that relationship, I was never a patient person. Never. But entering that relationship, I learned patience and perseverance. I learned long suffering. You know all those fruit of the spirit. You know the fruit of the spirit according to the Bible. I learned the fruit of the spirit. I learned how to persevere. I learned how to be patient. I learned how to be calm. I learned how to pray to God, because I turned to prayer warrior. At that point, I was begging God. I was praying to God. While I was in that relationship, I remember I was always praying to God that the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, should look for me and take me out of all of this suffering. But then it wouldn't make sense if the bone of my bone had come and take me out of the suffering. I had to leave. I had to heal before I could enter another relationship. And it took me 1 year and 4 months to heal from that relationship, to move on, to actually move on, actually. Because I kept telling myself that until Zach knows that I did not do everything his friends and my classmates said I did, I'm not going to forgive myself. I'm going to continue to look for a way to beg him. I texted him. I did everything I could do. 2 months after, Uncle entered the relationship with another baby in our school. I was always getting jealous. Anytime I see him, it was my classmate again. That is why I was advising in the previous video that don't ever date your classmates. Because when people break up, how do you want to cope? Even if you want to develop a tough skin and say, hey, it's not my business now. When he's talking to other girls, it will be your headache. What mama for? Your body will just be odd. You just be wondering, where is the heat coming from? It's not like maybe you still have feelings for him, but for the fact that you had intimacy with this person and then my body was always boiling because anytime I see him coming, if he passes left, I used to pass right because I don't want to make contact with him. It was just a lot of tension. I could not handle it, yo. There were times he now tried to talk to me. Goosebumps everywhere because I had not moved on. So people like that don't always change. Being manipulative and being controlling is not something you can just drop immediately. It takes the grace of God. It takes prayers. It takes fasting. And honestly, as a girl, you do not have the strength to do that. Who has strength to come and go and be fasting because of a boy? When is that you're already married? See, if you want to go through any stress for anybody, make sure you people at least you are married and you have kids. Nobody is worth your stress. You need to live a baby girl life and live it with Christ, actually, because if not, you're just going to be jumping from one relationship to another. Let Christ lead you. Let the Holy Spirit lead you. Pray. Honestly, I did not know that the prayers I used to pray then, that God should send the bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, somebody who would love and understand me, somebody like my father but better than my father. I didn't know that God could answer such prayers. I was just praying them because my mommy has always told us right from when we were growing up that always pray for a good husband, because according to her, we are spoiled children and to take a good husband to marry us. So she had always been telling us to pray, and all the children my mom gave birth to were all girls. So she had to tell us that. So me, I took it upon myself to be praying. Because when I used to ask her that, how did you meet daddy? She said she used to pray when she was young that God, let me meet my own husband. And God did it for her. So I felt like God could do it for me. And I'm not married right now, but I'm at peace with my relationship with the person I'm dating presently. And I can actually say that everything I asked for and more, God gave it to me in this person. So pray, ask God for what you want in a person, but don't always expect that God will not give you that exact same person. No, don't always expect that. Me, I was not praying for man that we have pot belly. My baby boy has pot belly. If you pray for man with 6 bags and God gives you the one pot belly, accept it like that. Don't think because he's not rich, he's not this, he's not that. I've had my friends talk to me about how I'm in a relationship with somebody that cannot afford to take me to Dubai. At at God's time He will do it. You don't have to be in a relationship where they are buying you human hair every day. What if it is not your peace? A lot of us enter relationship for monetary things, for material things. It's not going to always be forever. Yes, money can finish. Yes, anybody can go broke the next day. Do you not want to leave the person and go for another person? Then you want to turn yourself to a cheap person. Why not develop your own self and get your own money? So that when your partner has money, you can combine the money together and fly to Santorini if that is what you want. But you want to like totally depend on a guy because of his money, and then you now take all the trash, all the nonsense he has to give you. You now take it and form, I am enduring, and the Lord will change him. What? The Lord does not change things like that. So God will not change anything. I'm telling you now I'm speaking the mind of God. Yes, I'm telling you. God will not change it because Ojuko Koroni, you went to go and do Ojuko Koro to enter a relationship because of money. So if you are in a relationship because of the money, assess yourself. It's not too late to work on yourself. It's not too late to learn a skill. See, let me give you one small trick. If you are in a relationship because of money, it's not too late to redeem yourself. Take that guy's money. Go and use it to invest in yourself. Use it to invest in a skill. When people break up, at least you'll be standing on your own and you would have been, invested. But don't now go and be using it to buy things you don't need, things that are not necessary. You're going to be treated lesser than you are. And when you now eventually meet a better person that is ready to treat you the way you deserve to be treated, it's going to come to you as a shock. You'll not be able to adjust to that new treatment, and you just use that your old toxicity you to just end the relationship. Then you now begin to shout men as scum. You are the scum. And take a break. It's not every time you jump into relationship. I've learned that the hard way. It's not every time a boy breaks up with you that you enter another one. You need to heal. You don't have to go on a trip to heal. You need to heal. Read books. I do not read books, so me, I know that I don't read books. But I know that while I was healing, while I was away from that relationship, I was always watching Netflix. I watch Netflix tire. Watch movies. Go out. Be with your friends. I used to do mumu things in school then with my friends. We'll be dancing on the streets. It's not my business. It was a way for me to just let go of that toxicity. We've come to the end of this video, and I'm pretty sure the things you wanted to hear is probably not what you heard. But really, the truth is always bitter, like they say. And I want you to always remember that God will not present you with a situation that He knows you will not be able to handle. He won't give you a baggage that you cannot carry. And most of the things we go through in life, the trials, the tribulations, the stress, relationship-wise, is just to mold us for the next person. Everything I just spoke about, I was able to speak about it because I have moved on. And I'm in a much better place, a much better place. And if this video has annoyed anybody out there, I'm sorry. You're a big boy, you're a big girl. Take it and swallow it. This is my own truth. You can decide to make another video and mention your own version of the story. It's fine. But this is my own truth, and this is my advice to you all out there. And if you cannot hear, if you do not listen to what I said, you have coconut head, and there's nothing I can do to help you again. But anyways, I hope someone out there has learned a lesson from what happened to me and will not repeat the same thing again, because if you do, then you must be daft. But really, I hope you've learned something, and thank you so much for watching this video. I still have more story times, more juicy stories, because I'm the girl of experience. I have experience. I'm the queen of experience. I've experienced this in this world. So I have another juicy story time for you. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comment section, and let me know if you learned anything, because today I'm a big sister and I've just given advice. Yeah, I'm a life coach. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for sticking by till this very point. If you've not subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, love this video, share with your friends that like gist, and the friends that you feel needs to hear this advice, share with them. And I'm going to be seeing you in one of my other videos. Right now I'm very exhausted and I'm very hungry, so I love you all. Bye. Mwah. Bye guys.